Everything we say right now is actually part of the show.
It will be used against you on social media.
Semblance.
It's just not the show. So people, this is pre-show. Yeah. So those of you, okay, everyone's waiting for the noise, and the noise begins now, and that's when the show actually.
Get those words!
All right, good morning, everyone. Let that be your wake-up call. It's time for the nerds. That's what it is. We're a bunch of nerds, all three of us here today. We got three nerds. We got Warren in the house. Look at that. DWA is representing for
What's
Rad
up, Warren?
For Sale. Oh, my God.
What is up? Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Oh, man. You're throwing down the gang signs. DWA is getting hard.
The West
That's
Side.
all I got to say, man.
That was just a piece, throwing the deuces up. You know,
That's right.
Yeah.
Horizontally opposed deuces. Okay. That's
How are you guys? Yeah, air-cooled. These are air-cooled also.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Wow. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. This is the Bid Nerds, your daily nerd out on the most interesting cars of the day and all the automotive enthusiast auction sites, including P-Car Market, Rad For Sale, Bring a Trailer, and Cars and Bids. Every now and then there's some other auction sites that seem to pop up and go away, but nobody likes them. So we're going to talk about the most interesting cars on those auction sites. We dig through them all because there's so many. How do you keep track? We don't even know how you keep track, so we just whittle it down to the most interesting ones so you don't have to. Tell another nerd. There are nerds all over the world that need to know about the show, so help spread the word. Michael Deeb, how are you? What's going on over in San Francisco?
Oh, ask Warren, man. It's cold here in the Bay Area. It's freezing. I just got back from my honeymoon, and it was like hot and sweltering every day. And then you come home to a summer in San Francisco, and it's effing freezing, so... I don't know. Whatever, dude. I'm just glad to be alive. Whatever.
Warren, what's new? What's new with Rad For Sale? What's going on,
dude? I'm just writing auctions today. Got a couple cool cars coming down the pipe. I think we're cooking. We're moving along here. So I think it's really probably just because of Bid Nerds featuring us is what's changed.
Pretty sure that's it. Yeah.
So we'll send you a check in the mail. But no, that's going good. And Driving Well Awesome is rolling. We got a rally coming up, as you know, and
we're in.
Yeah, we're in over there.
I gotta send you my money, but yeah, we're in.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll send you a receipt. But dude, I'm glad to be on the show again. This is always a fun start to the day. So I'll look forward to getting my ass kicked. By the way, I didn't actually get the results. I was unable to watch the show after I was on, so you have to fill me in if I was even respectable with my guesses.
The show is there. It's always on later.
That's true. That's true.
So you're just gonna have to go back and see how you did, and
Warren,
we need
when
one,
were you on? How
one
many
more
weeks
view.
ago? Okay. Warren was on Friday the 7th of what was the previous month? May, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right. So, Warren, you won two of them. You got the 2009 McLaren SLR convertible.
Ah, yes.
And you got the 2003 Mercedes G500. That was that weird one with all the accoutrements, if I remember. So you won those two. JP won the other three. And according to the results, I wasn't even on the show. I didn't get any. All I did was tee it up for you two guys to have a competition. I didn't get shit. I got dick that day.
You were a coach's decision. Did not play.
Totally.
Yeah.
Scratch. Yeah. So according to the results, I wasn't even alive that day. So whatever.
All right. Well, I won't tell anybody.
Deeb, I'm a little disappointed that you told him the results, because had you not done that, he would have gone back and watched the episode.
I gotta watch. I want to know how much I won by.
Yeah.
That would have doubled our views for that episode, Deeb. What are you doing? We needed that.
Oh my God.
That would totally have changed the rankings. Guys, we need your help. What we're wanting you guys to do, you guys are watching the Bid Nerds. You guys are nerds like us. We need to find the other nerds. The best way we've found to find more nerds is for you guys to go onto the auction sites, go to the specific cars that we review, and say that you saw that car reviewed on Bid Nerds on YouTube. That we are finding tons of views are coming from that. And anytime someone goes on, they say, "Oh, look, here's a Volkswagen thing," and that the bid nerds talked about, and they're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. Boom, we get a bunch of people to come over to see just how much we don't know what we're doing, and we enjoy that. So please help spread the word by doing that.
Yeah. That's the inside scoop there. That's the cheat code. It's like getting animal fries at In-N-Out Burger.
That's right.
So please do that for us. We would really appreciate it.
And something else that we really appreciate, just a quick note to one of our sponsors, Guys Customs. Check out this bracelet. They make these custom bracelets. They're handmade here in America. Every one of them is custom designed to either match your watch or your car. They paint to sample beads. You just tell them what color your car is, give them the color code, and they will actually hand paint one of these beads to make sure it matches your car. It's pretty darn awesome. The only place to get one of these is to know the artist. And until now, she has an Instagram page. There's nobody on it, but that's where she gets all her DMs. It's guys_custom, and guys is spelled weird, so it's really hard. GYX_custom.
Whoa.
Look at that. Michael Deeb has his. That's Rubino Rut Red. What color is that?
Yeah, I just happened to have mine on this morning. And it's Rubino Rot Metallizzato, which is an Italian name for a German paint job that means ruby metallic. Matches my '84 Carrera. So there you go.
Nice.
That's pretty badass. Warren, you need one of those, don't you?
Dude, I didn't even know that was a thing. Paint to sample jewelry.
Paint to sample jewelry.
Does it get any nerdier than that?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's pretty dope. This one just happens to match my watch and a car. This is Guards Red, and then this watch happens to be black with the white. They have really cool names. They're like Carbon Metallic or Carbon Murder and stuff like that. I've got one that's like all black. It's so dope. But yeah. Anyways, check them out. Guys_custom. That's GYX_customs on Instagram. That's the only place that you can get these. DM her. When you DM her, you're DMing the artist. You're not getting some like representative in India or something like that. You're actually getting her. She's gonna make your jewelry for you, and then they'll send it out. It's just so awesome. So, anyways, please support them.
The attention to detail is incredible, JP. Not only do these beads match my paint to sample of the car, but these matte black beads match my 1552 Magnus Walker wheels that are also on my car. I mean, it's really incredible. Yeah. Very hot. Very hot.
Bespoke. All right. Well, thanks, guys_custom. All right. Warren, you ready to do this thing?
I've never been more ready.
Oh my gosh, that guy looks ready.
Yeah.
Cup of coffee going.
That was a polite way of saying hurry the F up.
Well, not only hurry the F up, it's hurry the F up and wait, because the first thing we always do on Bid Nerds is we talk about yesterday's cars. I mean,
Good, let's do it.
That's how we start. So let's see what Warren has to say about our bids from yesterday. He can laugh at how poorly
let's see it.
our own game.
He's just going to laugh at how badly we chose cars yesterday.
Ooh,
this might be the worst collection of cars we've ever
What do you got?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, boy, it was pretty awful.
like
Let's
a
start
pick and
with...
pull auction? Or what
Dude, it was... I've seen better cars at the junkyard, for sure.
Yeah,
there were better collection of cars in rows of heap of crap. Let's start with a good one.
Some of the cars would have been worth more money in just pure spec.
Just parts? Yeah,
totally.
Come on, who doesn't love an M Roadster? This was a pretty nice Roadster. This was a good one.
Down.
This was the shining point of our day yesterday.
It really was. JP, this car was on BAT, Bring a Trailer. It's a 2001. It had just a few miles on it, like 66,000 miles. But this steel gray color,
nice.
I have to say, not only is it a beautiful colorway and looks really good in these overcast outdoor photos, but it's not a color that I would say is very common. I would not. No. Like that color wouldn't come to my mind when I think of these models. And so this really nice car. 01, of course, has the S54 version of the inline six. The individual throttle bodies bring the horsepower up to like 315 and torque to like 260 or 270. By all accounts, this is a lightweight, decent handling, very fast car. And despite our car languishing at like $16,000 when we were reviewing it yesterday, JP, you and I both were in for thinking that this car would have a strong finish on BAT, and we were correct. So while I said 26, you did take the under at 25, and that cost you because the car sold for $28,000, which is I don't know. Now, when you think about it, it's under 70,000 miles. It's under $30,000. That seems like a fair price. Whereas when we were reviewing it with a couple hours to go, it looked like it might get ripped. You know,
Right.
it's like, yeah. So,
Warren, is this a car that would be allowed on a rally, on a DWA rally?
Big time. And I think the S52 example is a good value still. That's a serious car, you know. I mean, it's got some old-fashioned bits going on, but really, I mean, a powerful roadster like that, manual transmission. Yeah, I like it.
Largely stock. That car's no joke.
Yeah, no, it's a good. I think there's still a good value, but that's a pretty strong result for that high mileage. But find another one, I guess, right?
Yeah, like I said, I can't remember seeing one in that color. So.
Yeah.
What would you think that car would have gone for?
I was going to say 25. I was like 24.9 or something.
Yeah.
So
that's where JP was. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there might have been a small premium California car. I think JP, if I remember correctly, and then fair miles. It wasn't high miles. It wasn't like pushing 100,000 miles. It was like 65 or 66.
Totally, and very
color.
easy. Easy car to sell in that color. That's like appeals to a lot of people.
All right, so for the price of that, you could have had all three of the next cars. We looked at a 2001 Volkswagen Cabrio GLX. This was one of the I don't want to say rare because it's not like they didn't make a lot of them, but we certainly don't see a lot of Mark III Volkswagens in the marketplace today.
Right.
This was being a GLX, had alloy wheels and a nice stereo, automatic transmission, leather interior, and it's black on black on black. And again, with fair miles. JP, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this like 72,000 miles or 80,000 miles? This was also comfortably under 100,000 miles. And looked to be in decent original stock shape. I think the only modification was the head unit for the stereo, and I imagine the stock one was included in the sale. So here's a car that you could put your kid in and send him to high school. I said $8,000 on BAT. JP surprisingly took the under because there really wasn't anything wrong with this car. JP went $6,400. And then, of course, this car brought the over at $9,500. So that was my second win for the day. What do you think of this little bitch bucket with an automatic?
The automatic kills for me. That's just such a bummer. And I was right in line with JP. I'm surprised that someone stepped up, but it's a clean car. I mean, maybe someone will do a swap or something, but
yeah, I think this car is just such a great cruiser. I mean, I'm soft on it because it's a Mark III, and I was really betting the platform because this is a cars and bids auction, and so often we don't see late stage rallies. So with it not getting a ton of traffic, I was like, I think it's DOA. But I think if someone just needs a commuter, or like Deeb said, a car for a teenager that you don't want them to get in a lot of trouble, the automatic is going to keep them sane. And it's a pretty little car, and I think you're just going to have a good time with it. An island car or something to have at a vacation property or something like that. This is great.
Yeah, I can totally see that Palm Springs third garage stall. That's chilling.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It was clean,
absolutely. Yeah. Very cool car. JP, let's do the Pontiac and we'll save the Honda for last.
Okay.
The 1984, on Cars and
Oh
Bids.
My God, what the hell
we looked at this
is going on?
1984 Pontiac Fiero Roadster.
Jesus.
3-speed automatics, again, like 60,000 original miles. And some previous owner did this complete convertible conversion to this Fiero coupe. Warren, I didn't even think I realized this. This 2.5 liter motor only makes 98 horsepower. It doesn't even crank out triple digit horsepower. How pathetic is that? And yet this thing actually, at a glance, and I'm just talking silhouette, not like anything else, it actually is easy on the eyes. It lends itself to a convertible.
It does.
The wheels ruin it. The automatic ruins it. The fact that it's a Pontiac Fiero ruins it.
Yes.
Wait, can you ruin a pile of crap? Is there, like, if there's a steaming heap of goop that just came out of somebody's butt, is there a way to ruin that?
If you
it's
you
already
set it on fire and step in it. That's a great idea, Warren.
It's not ruined. That's enhanced.
This guy stepped on the roof, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Anyways, clearly the car Pontiac should have made. I bet they would have sold a bunch more of them. They would have sold 5 more of them if they made a convertible. Anyway, this one, I went high for this one. I said $6,000. Get your math hat on. JP did $4,200, and the car failed to sell at $5,100. And by the way, $5,100 perfectly splits JP and I, so we got a draw on that shitbox, which is really funny. Yeah. So, and then the last car of the day, Warren, you probably missed this. On Rad for Sale was a 1990 Honda Civic 3-door with like 177,000 or 145,000 miles.
Dude, that matches your bracelet.
Absolutely. Look at that. I bought it. Anyway, I said $4,500.
I think the bracelet costs more.
I said $4,500. It's more unique, that's for sure. My brace is more unique. JP went $4,000. We really believe that if anybody could get that kind of money, it would be Radwood or Rad for Sale. The car did a respectable $3,600 because let me put it this way. Let's just say again, this car has 150,000 miles on it. If it only had 50,000 miles, the car would still be worth like $2,000 or $2,500. So any dollar premium over that number is because of the platform and the irony that is brought to the table by you guys. So I would say that the consignor was smart to list it with you. That is every last damn penny for that car. $3,600 and sold. JP, you got the win.
Good job, JP.
Yeah, buddy. Warren, is this a car, that you would allow on a DWA run? I mean, it's got an automatic, but is
I know. For sure it's allowed. I mean, this is slow car fast written all over it, but the automatic is just such a killer. I mean, it would double in price if it was a manual.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
right?
And the color is ultra rare. It's obviously in very nice condition, but the automatic is just like, those cars are all about momentum and high revs, and you can't really use any of it. You're just always in the throttle to keep that thing going. So, but yes, to answer your question, certainly allowed. And as an autocross car, that platform is super desirable. So
interesting.
They're very light cars.
Warren, JP said that it's easy to convert this car to a manual transmission, that it's like, it's not cost prohibitive. Like you can go out
I'm definitely not the one to ask. I always think of those things like at this point in the life of the car, it's like, is that the one to do it with, this perfect example? But probably. I mean, it's a really neat, if you love that color, it'd be cool. So $3,600. Dude, really hard to find, and Honda values are crazy. So
well, can we talk about that for just a second? Auto Week just put an article out today that not models, but some brands, used cars, are enjoying a 30% spike in values across the entire brand in the United States right now. What is your take as to what is going on?
It's crazy. We've talked about it on the Driving While Awesome podcast several times, but
well, what's your short version of the answer to that?
So it has to do with supply and demand for new cars. They were unable to get cars on dealer lots because of that chip shortage. And so everybody who wanted a car was looking at used cars. Every single dealer saved all of their trade-ins. Usually they just ship them to auction and forget about it.
Yeah, but they held on to them.
They held on to them.
Yeah.
And they probably, put a little bit of money into them and profited pretty greatly from it. But I think it also has to do with people getting stimulus checks and having the ability to put a down payment on a car. I mean, there's a lot of factors there.
That's a good take. But
it is weird. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop because here we are, a year plus into a pandemic, and you're like, wait, houses are worth more, cars are worth more.
Me and this guy are the same thing, kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, it's hard to make sense
of
just how strong it is. Look, if it had plateaued or spiked a little bit, that's an easy reasoning and argument to make. But 30% across a brand is bananas.
I know. So I can tell you that a good friend of mine who's a wholesale dealer here, his business model in Santa Cruz, model has changed now where he's buying cars on Craigslist and taking them to auction, to a dealer auction. So it's the opposite. You used to get a good deal at an auction, and you refurb the car and sell it on Craigslist or at a lot.
Sell it locally, regionally.
Locally, right? So dealers the demand is so high that he can find cars on Craigslist and profit by taking it to a dealer wholesale auction.
Yeah.
I mean, that is wacko.
Do you want to give him a shout out? Who are we talking about? It's not more imports.
No shout out needed. He's kind of a private deal. But he sells 200 cars a year, so I mean he knows what he's doing. But
he's busy.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know when it'll happen, when things will shift, but maybe when this chip shortage is over and cars are, there's a full dealer lot of cars. I mean, our local Toyota dealership had 2 record months in a row recently. So
everybody's having records. Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah.
You got to throw in the inflation factor in here too, which is clearly
Thank you, JP. Yeah,
a
that's
big factor. There's a lot of extra money being dumped in the system when it whether or not you think it should have been or whatever. If you have a downturn and you try to prop up prices, they will eventually catch up and that bubble will burst because
So
right,
JP,
this is not an economic show. This is a car show.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Cool. Never mind. All right.
This is an automotive economic show. We talk about car
it's
values,
true.
right?
I mean, this is Bid Nerds, right? And we are talking about value. So I'm okay with talking about this, guys, if you want to nerd out with it a little bit more.
Well, just one take. So what Warren is saying is something that won't sustain. But what you're saying with regards to inflation, that's not going to reverse. So which of these two arguments, which are both, I think in the moment, are both true, which one is going to prevail? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, JP, do you think if your argument is the stronger argument, then I don't suspect
it's not a binary, right? It's not one or the other. It's both. I think both things are factoring in here. You also have to factor in interest rates and how easy credit is available. Warren mentioned that people have enough money for a down payment. The credit is really inexpensive. Money is inexpensive to get a hold of.
Money's cheap.
Yeah. So at some point, interest rates, what do you do? I mean, this is economics 101. When you have inflation, how do you battle inflation? You increase interest rates. Well, the economy, the Fed has been trying to prop up the economy by diminishing interest rates, not just for the pandemic, but for 20 years. We've had disaster, which builds a bubble, then it bursts, and then it collapses again. Interest rates have crept up at fractional increases, not point increases. Back before in the olden days when the interest rates went up or down, it was multiple points. It's 3-4 points, right? I mean, I'm old enough to remember.
Because interest rates were 8, 9, 10, 11% was
normal. Right, when the factory was advertising, we've got 9.9 on a new Nissan Sentra. Get down to your dealership today. Everyone's like, wow, that's a great deal, right? Now it's like if it's more,
run to the car
it's
and go
0.9%,
right?
0%.
0% doesn't get anyone out of their seats, right? And so what happens? You get out of control inflation. You print, or not even print, but digitally create gajillions of dollars.
They're printing money for sure.
Yeah, it's coming out of there. The money is in the system. So what you wind up happening is some pretty harsh inflation. You have decrease in supply. The factories know this stuff is going on, so they ain't going to rush to increase the. I mean, look at Porsche figured this out back in 2008 during the crash. Right? Try to find yourself an 09, 10, or 11 911. Like, they're not there. They didn't make any because they knew back then when the economy took a crap that they needed to reduce the amount of cars that they created in order to hold the prices on 911s. And it worked, right? So they're doing the same thing now inadvertently. They all held back on production because they're like, well, we don't know what's going on. Now, I mean, those guys that run that company, they're hedge fund managers. They totally know what's going on. They ain't building any cars anytime soon. They'll pump out the inexpensive stuff that they can build in the cheap factories, but they're not going to make a ton of 911s. They're going to make a handful of GT3s that they can sell for
premium.
Just premium money. Everything else is going to stay low production levels. The question is, like, when you start talking about Honda or Subaru or Toyota, Subaru really shouldn't be in that equation, but Honda and Toyota, they are massive volume cars. They make more CRVs than Porsche, Volkswagen, and Subaru combined. So what are they going to do with their inventories as they're able to increase production? That'll be interesting to see what they think is going to happen. So I don't know. Sorry.
Thank you, JP.
We really got into some nerd there.
No,
right?
That's good. That's good stuff, though. It's really interesting. It's super relevant right now because JP, Warren. Yesterday we opened the show with a car that had sold on BAT on Saturday. It was a 2000 996 cab with 42,000 miles and 4 owners.
I saw
and
that.
It went for $52,000.
What is the deal?
That doesn't make any sense. And so that was how we opened the week. And so this conversation is really piggybacking that conversation because we're seeing values that you can't wrap your brain around. They don't make any sense. So,
I know. We talked about it forever. That
Ocean blue on beige with aftermarket wheels and no IMS bearing.
Oh,
that's a $25,000 car. There's no way around it.
Dude, you hit it on the head. I don't get it at all. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't understand. This one defies all logic because even with all those things that we just talked about with inflation and people having extra money and wanting 911s and this one doesn't make sense. I mean,
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's
because
that's
on the same
thing.
day a 997 went for 50 something.
Right.
There's no reason that you would. I don't. There was just two dudes that wanted.
That needs $10,000 in work right now. I can.
Well, yeah,
right.
Wheels and an IMS bearing and a headlight restoration.
And I bet the top has an issue. The probably needs a top motor, and you name it. Yeah.
I think I've figured it out. There's one thing that I think that explains this particular 911 doing so well. And I don't know if you have Sirius XM radio, but this time of year they always bring yacht rock back. And this car,
you
know, I mean,
Ocean Blue,
dude, you know,
there you go,
sailing away,
dude,
in this Ocean Blue 996. That's.
JP,
I had a word that rhymed with away, but I'm not going to use it. All right, we're moving on.
JP, we were out. We went to the auto show in LA, out of Vegas, and we came back. Remember, we went to Lisa Taylor's Christmas party.
Yes.
And she had Yachtly Crew playing with, and she had brought in like 600 pounds of snow so the kids could do the little thing. Yachtly Crew is my favorite. I am like a mad Yachtly Crew member now. So that's right. That's right. Yeah. All right.
Never gonna give you up, you guys. I'm never gonna give you up, our bid nerds.
Yeah, don't worry, Warren. He was never gonna let you down.
That's good. That's good.
I might let you down, but I'm never gonna give you up. I'm pretty.
Where are we starting today, John?
All right, guys, if you're watching, if you're a Bid Nerd fan, make sure you hit the subscribe, like, and notification button if you haven't already, because why wouldn't you have? We do this show every day of the week, Monday through Friday at the 9 o'clock hour. We do this thing live. So the only way to know about it is to have that notification button. Otherwise, you just don't see it. You can't go, and the thing doesn't populate. YouTube doesn't populate our show for hours later. So it's pretty annoying. If you're going to be a Bid Nerd fan, you got to be a hard Bid Nerd fan, really get after it and hit that notification button. And we are now available on Spotify and Apple Podcast, iTunes stuff, all that thing. So this show is available to listen to as well. If you're driving to work or on the bus or whatever and don't want to see our ugly mugs, you can just listen to us, and that's probably easier on the eyes. So we got to do a better job at explaining these cars, what they look like, because some people are not subject to our faces, which is lucky for them. All right, so let's get to the cars of the day and see how poorly we do predictions today. The big car of the day, our lineup is way better than yesterday's, and I'll give Warren credit for that, even though he had nothing to do with it. This GT3 might be one of the greatest cars of all time. How about that? This is going to bring bonkers right here. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, yeah.
All right. So what we're looking at here is a 2018 Porsche 911 GT3 in paint to sample pure green, which is honestly, it does look a little bit like lizard green. This is just sort of a bright Kelly green color. Our car has matte black center lock wheels, ceramic PCCBs, ceramics, and it does have buckets, carbon fiber buckets that have custom tailoring. So they got a design from a company called P1 Design to do a black with green plaid on the seat insert on the racing bucket seats. So this is a very neat car that came with an incredibly high sticker price. Wrap your head around this one, $160,000 or $180,000 GT3. Base price of a GT3 is $143,000. Our car was $238,000, which included a $40,515 line for custom tailoring options. Tailoring means it was just on the interior. That has nothing to do with the paint to sample paint. So somebody went way over and above on this particular car and spent entirely too much on it. And I would say that that's going to cost them. If this is the original owner who's selling the car, they are not going to get that money back, despite the fact that 991.2 GT3s are going for all the money right now. With just 3,000 miles on the odometer, this car out of San Juan Capistrano, California, with a custom California black paint that says pure green, which is pretty cool. It's just these cars are bringing sticker, but this one's not going to. I think this car is going to wind up hurting because they just went over and above. It just doesn't have a chance to do that. Our car has 3 hours to go. It's sitting at $188,000. And the big thing here that I haven't even gotten to yet is that it is a 6-speed manual car. When the 991 GT3 came out, Porsche astutely decided to offer the car with 2 transmissions, the PDK, which is a 7-speed, or the incredible driving experience that you get from having 3 pedals and just a 6-speed manual with a short throw. This is absolutely one of the greatest driver cars on the planet. And while they languished a little bit about a year or two ago, in this myriad of inflation and shortage of used cars and whatnot, these cars are bringing big money. That being said, I still don't think this car has any chance of getting to $238,000. Warren, what do you think?
Man, I will be surprised. Is this going to break 200 even? I mean,
well, that's probably the watermark the three of us are going to discuss, right?
That's the over/under, right? Is 200. Man, so you got to really love green, right? Right off the bat, like you have to really love this color, and it is bright and a flashy car. So I don't know if that hurts it. What do you think? Is that a
that helps it?
It helps it, right? I mean, it's like the one of one or whatever.
Yeah.
But man,
guy can afford this. Wants everybody to see his crazy car.
Yeah.
The wing isn't ostentation enough. Let me go with a really bright color.
I know.
Absolutely, the American Jaguars.
But like you said, I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say, find another nice GT3 like this. How many miles?
3,000.
Jeez Louise. Yeah.
This color, look, I think the colors on these days, I think it's more rare to find a white one or a gray one or a silver one or a black one. Everyone orders them in these crazy colors. They spend the extra money and they do it. And frankly, I can't remember the last time I saw a silver .2 GT3.
Yeah.
They don't exist. They're always bonkers colors. And I'm not a fan of the big crazy colors myself. But that's just me.
Green black is kind of tough for me too. Anyways, that's a personal thing, but I think it's like right there. I'm gonna go $199.99.
Oh, you're going prices already. Okay, all right.
Wow.
He's jumping in front.
Warren's
jumping in front
of.
All right,
oh
$199.
My God.
Deeb, where do you think this thing's gonna land?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my reasoning, guys. First of all, most GT3s that came out were in the low 180s. Most cars were like 181 to 185,000 because I was at the dealers when these cars were being sold brand new. That being said, our car is at 188,000, so it's already sort of over typical used prices for these cars. With that in mind, at 238 and 40,000 for special tailoring, I don't think they're going to get the special tailoring. So I'm going to subtract the 40 grand from the 238, and that's going to bring me to my bid of 198,000. So I'm going to go 199.9 for Warren, and I'm at 198, JP. I agree with Warren. It's not going to break 200, and I'm just going to take the under on his bid. So where are you at, JP?
Yeah, I think while you were on vacation for apparently 4 years or something, things have changed. This car is going to break 200, no problem. This thing's going to easily make its original value. I'm going to take the way over. I'm not, I could just go 201 and I think easily beat you guys, but I'm gonna go 210 and say that I think this thing makes close to 250. They're going for 2 1/4 all day long for a 6-speed. T's six speed with paint to sample, buckets and ceramics. That's the big thing here. Low miles. Yeah. So JP, if it were a T, it'd be 250 for sure. I mean, it's crazy. Just pull that wing up, put a T wing on it or a T deck on it, and now you've got. I mean, it's just these have shot the F up in the last 2 months. I mean, maybe even in the last month. Easily going to break 200. Like, no freaking problem.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, like you said, it is one of the greatest driving cars you can buy. I mean, and even compared to the new one, I mean, you can't get one. So what do you buy if you have the money? That's it.
Yeah.
Nice
JP, on that take that this is one of the greatest driving cars of all time, today is an amazing show because we have one of the other greatest driving cars of all time. Let's go look at our 1973 Volkswagen Thing.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, that is true. You might be onto something right here. Look at that.
JP, offered out of Naples, Florida, is this relatively, as far as I can tell, really well-presented stock Volkswagen Thing. It's got the 1.6-liter air-cooled flat four with a 4-speed manual. It's been repainted in its original shade of lemon green. It has black upholstery and a black convertible top with side curtains. It's got the duck boards on the floor. The underneath of the car looks like it's been attended to and looks very clean or refurbished. The bumpers look good. All the hardware's there. And if you scroll down, John, there is a photograph that includes records, manuals, and manufacturer literature.
Wow.
I mean, this is as complete a lot as we've ever seen for a Volkswagen Thing. And I have to say, I love the color because I don't recall seeing one in this shape.
It is so pretty.
In the market. So many are orange and yellow and white, but this lemon green is kind of rocking right now. And it's even got the little decal that says the thing on it. And by all accounts, the BAT community is responding to this lot for its originality. Our car with an hour and a half to go out of Naples, Florida, which means by all accounts, you're shipping this car. And yet our lot is already up to $23,000. So, John, we've kind of been waiting for one to break the bank. Is this the one that could scratch 30 or more? Is there blue sky above this lot? Warren, what do you think of the Volkswagen thing?
I love everything about it. Have you guys ever driven one?
Oh, John's owned one.
Oh, you
a couple
one.
of them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I love them so much. And God, talk about an example. It's got the teak floorboard, floor mats or whatever you want to call it. Duckboards, yeah. And that's an original color. What a rad color. If you want a thing, that is it. That's the one to get, right?
Yeah, I don't know about this color thing because it's my understanding that they only brought him in white and orange. White, orange,
well,
and,
there you go.
And white, orange, and yellow. So this might be a period correct color, but I kind of doubt it's the actual
full
color.
repaint.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
unless it were a Mexican one, because they made, they only brought them into America in 73 and 74. So this is what you would consider maybe a first gen, for lack of a better way to put it. And the way you can tell is
that
right
air
here.
cool thing on the back, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So the air. So on the 74s, they have what they call the earmuffs. They're big, huge bulges, and that keeps dust from getting in. The other thing that's really interesting about this thing that you never see on things. I mean, like, this is the first one I've seen in years that has this right. If you look at the rear bumper here, you can see the exhaust ports are coming out of the middle of the bumper on both sides.
So cool.
Yeah, most of the original thing exhaust, rusted away a million years ago.
Yeah.
And then they just put regular Beetle exhaust down below. These came out through the actual bumpers and gave it a little bit more clearance so you could drive them off road and stuff like that.
I'm gonna have to raise my bid, JP. That's a good take. Man. I love it.
The only thing this one's missing is the brush guard. They did make a factory brush guard for one of these, which I own one of those. I have it sitting over at my friend Ryan's backyard because I never put it on my last Volkswagen thing, and I meant to. But this one really, really, really does look nice. There is nothing more fun. Yeah, and you're right. This is one of the most fun cars on the planet. You put
really
the windshield down and drive this around slow. You're never going to go fast. You're never going to do anything performance-wise, but you're going to have more fun than everyone else.
Yeah,
Warren, would that not be a perfect car to own in Santa Cruz?
It would be amazing, and I've driven around Santa Cruz. We talk about it on the podcast. It's smiles per mile, of course, guys. And sense of occasion. I mean, it's like hits the top of both of those scales. So
it's off the chart.
Off the chart.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, it looks too good to be true, so it's got to be restored, right? It's not.
Yeah, it's been repainted.
Yeah.
JP, if you can go to an exterior photo, it looks like there's a very distinct paint line in the front passenger front quarter. Can you see that with a photo? Just go to any 3/4 view of that front passenger corner. Look at that paint line right behind the the antenna. Do you see that?
Let's see.
Yeah, I do. I see what you're saying. The doors.
That's a crease. That's just where the where the taper begins on the nose.
Thank you, John.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
perfect.
these are
right,
they look
that's
like
for aerodynamics. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Right there.
That's a
well, another thing unique to the 73 that the 74 didn't have is a gas heater. So it uses gasoline. Has a gasoline pump in the front So don't crash one of these, man.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Gosh.
Not exactly gonna meet any safety requirements. Don't put your child seats in the back of this thing. This is a death trap. But so much fun. Well, if your kids are gonna die, this may as well be the way they're gonna go.
Best way to go, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, I think we all agree that this is probably the second most fun, maybe the most fun car on the planet. Deeb, where do you think it's gonna live?
So, John, I put 30 grand, but the more we look at it, I really like this one. I'm gonna take that. This is the VW, the thing that's going to break the bank. I'm going to go really high, just on, I don't know, it's called a gamble. I'm going to go $37,000.
Whoa! Wow! What do you think, Warren?
I was right there. I'm going 36.5. I was going to
Oh
say.
my god. Yeah, I think this one's gonna go crazy.
And
It's
so
just
wait,
so nice.
is it no reserve?
No, it has a
It
reserve.
has reserve. Okay, because I mean, I don't even. They might not even be at reserve yet. You know where the bidding is now.
Yeah. I think it's gonna have it's got an hour and a half to go, but I think it's gonna have a late flurry.
It could bring big money, but that would be more money than a thing is seen. I mean, maybe if it were in Acapulco or something like that. But
right.
This one in Restore. If you don't love this car, you're a bad person. This is like kicking a puppy. I mean, you just if it doesn't make you smile, you're just like, I don't want to know that person.
Exactly.
I'm gonna okay, I'll say it breaks 30. Sure, 32. Why
There
not?
you go.
I
Good
mean,
bid.
that
Good
would
bid.
be crazy money. And if you do buy this, if you're the person out there that winds up with this car, drive it back to wherever you live. I know it's in Florida. I know
Oh
it's
my
going to be
God.
berserk, insane hot, but you're just going to have the time of your life. I don't care. It's just I drove mine from Seattle to Vegas. And it
Vegas?
was one of the
Dang.
greatest times ever, man. It was just like
Took you about a year. Took you about a year.
it was there was a guy that was hitchhiking and he was like, "No, I'll walk." Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. And then he actually beat you to the next
He
city.
did,
right?
yeah. We saw him.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for waiting for us." He's like, "Yeah, no problem."
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. JP got his table when he was done at the Waffle House. All right, John.
All right.
All right, Cars and Bids has a 2012 BMW X5M with just 72,000 original miles offered out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, I bought a 2013 BMW M5 that had the F10 drivetrain in it. That's the 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that makes nearly 560 horsepower and has over 500 pound-foot of torque. And that's the exact same drivetrain that's in this car here. And my car was the exact same color as this, Monte Carlo blue, which looks way better in person than it does in these terrible photographs. And while the F10 version of the M5 was largely criticized for not handling well and not being a great this, that, or the other, it didn't steer like a BMW should, I loved my car. I unapologetically loved my car and was sad to see it go, and have wanted to kind of get one since. And maybe a competition package would be a nice upgrade with better suspension. But this car here, I think, represents a tremendous value. And with less than an hour ago, it's sitting at just $20,000 on 15 bids. Now, remember, these are practically $100,000 SUVs. So you're talking about paying 20 cents on the dollar with a car that just has 70,000 miles on it. So I like this lot. This car is all stock, and it's all there, and it's just sitting there in Salt Lake City. So if it's not rusting underneath, I think this is a pretty decent deal in the secondary market. If you had to drive an SUV, this would probably be one of the funner drivetrains to drive in the used car market. So, Warren, what do you think of the bodacious Monte Carlo blue X5M?
Well, I know too much. I know too much. I'd say it probably represents the worst used car you could possibly buy.
Oh, there we go. Tell me why.
70,000 miles on a car that will need everything in the next 2 years. You're talking suspension, every piece of rubber, all oil seals, electronics, door seals, weird electronics in the computer for the engine control, for climate control. I mean, you could spend 20 grand on that car in the next 5 years, maintenance wise.
Warren, you say
That's
you know
twice the
too
value.
much. Did you make the mistake of owning one of these?
No, but I ran a shop for years that worked primarily on these vehicles, and they're the sketchiest. Like these and a first gen like Cayenne Turbo at this age and mileage were just like, hold on, and you better love the car because it will test you for sure.
Okay.
So
get one with a warranty.
Exactly, aftermarket warranty. We use the hell out of those, and those work. But to your point, like driving it, and they're the most sporting of that generation of SUV. So those are very easy to drive quickly. They look pretty sharp, but man,
they handle
great. Yeah, I'd say them and the Cayenne are right there. But like the Q7 or Q5 and any of those, no, and an ML Mercedes, no. But performance-wise, this is about as good as it gets. But man, you got to be really brave.
Where's it going to land, Deeb? You were going to buy it, but I think Warren just talked you out of it. What do you think this thing's going to land?
So it's under an hour to go. It's at 20,500 on 15 bids. I think this car has a chance to get to $25,000 because of the low miles and the cool paint job. Salt Lake City scares me, and then Warren's buyer beware is absolutely valid. I would never contest that. I think he's absolutely spot on. So 25 is my bid, but it might be a reach.
What do you think, Warren?
Yeah, I think it's still a lot of car for the money. Like when you sit back and look at it, you're like, wow, that is a crazy amount of car for the money. But yeah, I think you're right there. It's like, so no undercarriage pictures, no rust, nothing like that. We're not dealing with a rusty Salt Lake special.
It might be.
I did
Who
not
knows?
see
I know.
anything like that. Yeah.
Cars and bids, and there's a reserve on it, I'm guessing.
There's no undercarriage photos.
No, that's
pretty
convenient.
terrible. Yeah. So that means there is rust.
Not one picture of like the suspension or anything exhaust or anything. Yeah.
Nope. Did not lift this car. It did not reach underneath it.
Man, I'm
So, yeah.
terrified. I'll go 24 grand, and
All right.
I think that's a good buy for someone who owns a repair shop.
How many bids have
Mechanic
there
special.
been? How many bids have there
15.
been? 15?
15.
All right, so there's a little action on this thing. Again, this is one of those cars that the people that want this car don't have the money sitting around. They have to get a loan, so I think that's going to hurt it. So, yeah, what was your bid, Warren?
24.
24. Yeah, I'll go 23. I'm going to go the under. I don't think it has
Under,
much
yeah.
left in it. And maybe
There
it
we
fails
go.
to sell. I don't know if we figured out if it has a...
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, neat car. Have your bank account ready.
Aftermarket warranty. Aftermarket warranty.
Or get an aftermarket warranty. Yeah.
Read the fine print. Make sure it covers all that stuff.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's get let's get to another one of the greatest cars of all time. This is talk about heat. My computer is melting when I look at the picture of this thing.
Ooh,
All right.
I'm in.
JP, on P-Car Market, what you're looking at is a 1997 Porsche 993 Carrera Coupe. So this is a C2 Coupe, a rear-wheel drive, 6-speed manual C2 Coupe, offered to us out of West Hampton, New York, with just 85,000 miles on the odometer. The car is glacier white with the full Metropole blue interior. That means blue carpets, blue dash, blue steering wheel, blue everything. John, this car is actually very reminiscent of the C4S you took on road trip. Very similar car, same 18-inch wheels. This car has motor sound package, which is probably the one cool option that's on this car. But looking at that first thumb, look at that. Go back a photo, JP, if you can. That car looks like it's been lowered. They don't mention anything with the suspension, but you have to consider that this car either has aftermarket springs or has somehow been lowered. Maybe they clipped the stock springs or something, because it sits really nice. Pretty nice driving car. And we have seen 964s and 993s coupes that are bringing ridiculous money. So our car is sitting at just $40,000 with 2 hours to go. One would think that the real value on this car is probably twice that in this current marketplace. So, Warren, what do you think of the 993 coupe with 80,000 miles? Is that an $80,000 car right now, or
I love it.
are we tripping?
Yeah, I mean, God, I think it is. Are those wheels correct from the factory? They came with those?
Yeah, optional 18-inch turbo twist wheels.
Yeah, and the exhaust looked a little shiny, but maybe that's
the motor sound package.
Yeah, motor sound package.
Different shape to the exhaust tips.
And then the intakes by the fog lights, those are optioned as well? Aftermarket. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
is it missing the little? Is it missing the little bumperettes on the front? I
think they were.
No, it has the bumperettes, but next to them, instead of clear
oh, got it. Yeah,
side markers,
okay.
it's got
intakes,
if it's the full kit, it should have routing to the brakes,
right?
To do the RS thing and cool the brakes.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I love 993s and always have. I like a Carrera S. If I were to buy one, I like the wide body, and I don't mind the more sharp lower sills. But God, I love it. I love white on blue too. What do you guys think of that color combo? Is that too boring?
I would prefer silver on blue, but it's okay. I would obviously black interior is the way I want mine, but
Yeah,
I don't think it's the end of the world.
I wouldn't seek out blue.
The Metropole blue is a nice blue. It's really dark and deep, and on the 993 interior, it looks pretty nice. I mean, I spent about 5,000 miles in that C4S with the same colorway like Deeb mentioned, and I loved it. It didn't bother me. Would I prefer it black? Yeah, but we're in a place right now where if you want a 993 coupe, you just take whatever color comes up. Yeah, otherwise you're gonna just pay more.
Mileage on this one?
85,000 miles out of New York.
New York.
I don't think this one. I think this is ROW height. I don't think it's. I mean, it's not that low. I think it's so it's probably got ROW springs or something like that.
Right.
Where do we think this is going to land, Deeb? This car is very you. You like the white 911.
I do. I am a big fan. I think black Dur stickers would look really good on mine. New 993 C2 coupe with 84,000 miles out of West Hampton, New York. 6-speed manual motor sound package. It's a crying shame that this car doesn't have a limited slip differential, but it's an easy adjustment to throw one in there. John, it's interesting. We love to pick on P-Car Market because of their inconsistency. But lately, and maybe it's more a reflection of the strong market than a strong platform, we've been seeing them get the right money for even air-cooled cars. So by that rationale, I think this is an $86,000 car, and I think they can get it. That being said, when you look at the fact that there's 2 hours to go and it's sitting at just $40,000, there's a long way to get there. I'm telling you that I think that this will more than double in the final 2 hours. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But for the sake of expediency, I'll leave my bid at $86,000, claiming that that's the value, and P-Car Market is capable of bringing it. Just doesn't look like they're going to.
What do you think, Warren?
Warren, where you at?
76,000, and
nice.
You might have lost me. 76,000.
Okay, JP.
Yeah, you're sitting at 86. That is tough because I'm thinking this, on BAT, I think this thing breaks 90. I think the colorway and the fact that it's a C2, we're seeing 993s coming out. Like C4s are definitely in that high 70s, and C2s are really rare. What year? This is a 95, yeah?
No.
Later.
So what year is it? This is a later one? What year
97. 97.
Oh, it's a 97. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so, my argument would have been that the 95s are actually worth a little bit more than the later ones, that even though the later ones have more power because of the secondary air intake issues and stuff like that. The very RAM, I prefer the 95s. I own a 95, whatever. I'm not biased, but boy, do I go over 86 or under 86? If it's on BAT, I go over. So we're on P-Car Market. The boys in Long Island, I don't think they're going to get quite there. I'm going to park right underneath you and say 85 and say it's a toss-up because it could go either way. I think what'll happen is it won't get it. I think Warren might win this one, and then this thing sells in the deal tank. They'll get their used car salesman to go after everyone because that's kind of the P-Car Market way.
Yeah.
Hey, you like my plaid jacket?
Yeah.
JP, if Warren wins this one, I predict that tomorrow morning you and I bash P-Car Market for not being able to sell this layup.
I know, that's an easy
993.
one.
Well, they have failed to sell Singers on their auction. Now they sell them in their deal tank, but if you have $1 million car, why would you want to subject potential buyers to a used car salesman? What is wrong with you? Just put it on BAT and get the right money for it in the first place.
But I don't even know why you need to auction a Singer. Why there's so many potential buyers out there.
It's so true.
Talk to people.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then Warren, we have another one coming up. Graham Rahal is the son of Bobby Rahal. He races an IndyCar.
He has an F40.
He and his dad have a bunch of car dealership, and Graham loves collecting really exotic cars, LFAs, F40s, Carrera GTs. He's had everything. And what's cool is he buys them, he drives them a little bit, and then he sells them. And so this Singer that's on P-Car Market now, I predict is his actual car because it's being sold by Graham Rahal's car dealership.
Sure.
I bet it's his personal car. So it'll be interesting to see if that car brings the money, if it hits his personal reserve.
Why is he putting a car on P-Car Market? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand it. That's what JP was saying. It doesn't make any sense. Like it's crazy.
I don't get that at all.
Warren, have you guys haven't had a 993 yet or 964?
What do you mean? Our site?
On Redwood, or I mean, on Rad For
Rad
Sale.
For Sale,
I mean,
no.
this is definitely Rad For Sale, right? I mean, it's
We've had
993,
G bodies and 944s and stuff, but no, this is a great one. Art, CEO of Radwood had an ocean blue metallic Carrera too, and it was a great car. It kind of represents such a pure form of the 911. I love them. 964 has been growing on me, but I've always been a 993 fan. That was, I was in high school when that car was new, and I've had a chance to drive quite a few of them. So they're very, very cool car, and they're just so well built, and I love them.
As the professor says, the wide-body version is the pinnacle of human achievement in design. And I am inclined to agree.
I'm not going to doubt anything the professor says.
Smart man. This guy, Warren knows how to come in.
Yeah.
All right. Extra credit.
Last car.
He is a professor approved. Okay, this last car. This is the last-minute car because we kind of screwed up on our listings.
Our super sub today.
We're going in dirty.
Going in hard, going in dirty.
I left the hard part out, but
man, they sell a pill for that. Don't worry about it. 1992 Volkswagen Corrado SLC equipped with the venerable torque steery VR6 motor with a 5-speed manual out of East Montpellier, Vermont, with just 66,000 miles. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I believe the name of this color is Tornado Red.
I think you're right.
Because I had an Audi 4000 Quattro that had the same colorway, and Volkswagen and Audi have been kissing cousins for long since before this car was built. Our car has low miles, tan interior, it has H&R adjustable coilovers and a Borla exhaust system. I will go out on the record and say that's exactly what I would do to mine. This car looks really nice. Love the BBS wheels. We don't see Volkswagens bring big money, but again, we're looking at our second Volkswagen of the day, JP, that's sitting at $23,000. So with 2.5 hours to go, we're finally seeing true collector money for a Corrado on Bring a Trailer. Where do we think this car is going to land? Warren, talk to me about your love or hatred for the front engine, almost impossible to drive Corrado VR6. JP has said that how did you put it, JP? That if Porsche built a front-wheel drive, this would be it?
Well, I'm definitely a GTI guy, so I've never really lusted after a Corrado, although that one is pretty nice in Tornado Red, I have to say, with those wheels and stuff. And it looks pretty clean for a Vermont car. That would be my first concern. But 23 grand, I mean, that's very strong already for a car like that. Remind me the mileage, 66 or
66,000 original.
Very low. I mean, that's a rare car nowadays, and it's probably still going to represent a pretty good value compared to what GTIs are doing. That's an interesting one. Again, though, like you said, it's pretty hard to drive. My roommate in college had a VR6 GTI, a Mark IV, and it just didn't really do it for me. So, what do you guys think? Well, I mean, you're an Audi guy, Mike. You got any love for these?
I love it. I actually, they did like an eggplant color.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, we had one at the last Cars and Coffee.
I would absolutely buy one and rock it as a daily driver, a hatchback that I could put the rear seats down and throw the dogs in the back and then drive around Las Vegas when I move there. I would absolutely love to have any kind of Mark II or Mark III Volkswagen or Corrado or Scirocco or GTI as my daily, or even a Golf R. I love Volkswagens. So yeah. I'm in. I'm absolutely in.
The my buddy's mom got the first one of these in Washington State back in the day when they first came out. And that wasn't a VR6. It was the
four-cylinder.
The four-cylinder, the little supercharged thing.
G60.
Yeah, G60. Thank you.
G60. Yeah.
And that car was just so fun to drive. But it was amazing to experience that car brand new. These don't hold up well. You get into one and it just usually they don't have that same feeling. So to find one that's well preserved and actually feels like it did back in the day, that's kind of hard to find. I don't know if this car has that. It's kind of hard to tell from pictures and on the internet, but it does appear to be in very nice shape. Yeah. The VR6,
really quick.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, how rad would this thing be as a rear-wheel drive 944 replacement or something? I mean, that would be amazing.
I think the trick would be if New Speed or Quaife or whoever makes a limited slip that you could put in that system so that you would eliminate that torque steer. I think that would unleash this as a much better driver's car. A couple of sway bars and you're good to go.
Right.
Sticky tires. JP and Warren, I pose this to you as an enthusiast. On the lower quarter, front quarters on either side are Wolfsburg badges, meaning this car was built in Germany. Were all Corrados built in Germany, or did we get some Corrados that came from Mexican and Brazilian plants? Do we have any idea on the answer to that question from this era?
Yeah, I think they all came from Germany. I
thought they did too. My GTI was built in Pennsylvania, but that was much earlier. And I know
they didn't make a lot of these.
I know they didn't make a lot, but I'm going to get my guess, and I hope maybe a listener can correct us in the comments later, is that some of the cars that we sold in the United States were not Wolfsburg editions, and maybe that's why this one has such a premium, because it's a German-built version of the car in original condition with low miles, and maybe that's what helped explain why this one is bringing 23,000 and poised to go higher. So, but anyway, we'll see. I invite anybody to comment and correct me or validate what I'm saying as true.
Where do you think it's going to land, Deeb?
I think this car's going to bring 30 grand.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, what do you think, Warren?
Jeez.
I wanted to.
I know. Where's it at right now? Where's it sitting right now?
It's at 23,000, but I have to explain it's only on 6 bids.
Yeah. I'm going to say 27.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to say it finds a couple $1,000s more and go 25. It's great, but it's a Corrado, and I just don't. I mean, we've seen such nice Corrados fail to bring even 20. So I don't understand why this one's already over 20.
I think it's the Wolfsburg.
The color.
Wolfsburg Tornado Red. The tan hurts it. That's a really bad tan.
If you're going to do red on tan, this is the way to go, though, with the black dash and the black steering
wheel.
It really
just the tan needs to be a little richer. It looks very inexpensive. In that color, but
Volkswagen of that era, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, man, I'd love to drive it. I look at that thing; it's cool, man.
It's cool. If it was rear-wheel drive, sign me up right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, we just made it through the most interesting cars of the day on all the automotive enthusiast auction sites. Way to go, Warren! You think you're gonna compete today? How do you feel about your
I have no idea, but I do know one thing. I had a great time, so it's a win already.
Well, there you go. Nice work.
Yeah.
Warren, you want to plug any of the things? We've got Rad For Sale coming out. We got Radwood. Tell me about all the stuff.
Yeah. So Rad For Sale, we're still offering free listings for everyone using Tubular as the code when you sign up. So that's not going to last forever. If you have something you're thinking about, you can always send us an email at auctions@Rad4Sale and say, hey, is this worthy? We're happy to check it out. And then Radwood, July 10th in San Mateo. So that's San Francisco Bay Area.
Sign-up's gone live for that now, right? Or
submissions? We're almost.
Submissions? What do you call it?
Submissions, exactly. Yeah, we're almost sold out of display tickets. We opened up.
Save one for me. I've got a Mercedes.
Okay. We opened up. We've got a larger area for standard display, but our royalty tickets are almost sold out, and we've sold a ton of spectator tickets already at this point. So that's July 10th, San Francisco Bay Area. And then we got shows in Seattle, Austin, Connecticut, a city near you. So we're moving along here. But
should we set up a booth, Bid Nerds booth at Radwood and do some, because it's a Saturday, right? We could just talk about all the auctions that are going on that day.
Totally. Yep. You could do a live
a live Bid Nerds from Radwood, the first Radwood back. Yeah, I like that.
If it's not too late, why doesn't Rad For Sale close a single lot on that Saturday? Are you planning to do that?
Yeah, we're lining that up. So
we'll cover that car. Yeah, we'll absolutely cover that car.
We're lining that up with a local consignor. So stay tuned for that for sure. And then
can't wait to see what car you guys pick to close on that day.
The one that we have in mind, I can't tell you yet, but it will be something you would never guess.
An 84 wide body Carrera?
No. But close. And on the Driving While Awesome side, drivingwhileawesome.com, and we have podcasts as well, and then rallies and all sorts of fun stuff. So tune in there, and that's kind of it. All the stuff, all the things.
We love all the stuff. We love all the things. Warren, I think you got to get Deeb on the DWA podcast.
I was just thinking the same. Deeb, are you down?
I'm down. Yeah, I talk a lot, but yeah, I'm in.
No, that's what we need. People are sick of hearing us talk. We need verbose.
Absolutely.
You just got to get a word in over Lane and Art. That's going to be the hard part, but I'll help you out.
Oh, yeah. Lane's my buddy. Lane's my new best friend. I love him.
Oh, good.
Deeb, get on there and plug some nerds, man. Come on, let's make it happen.
I
All
will,
right.
yeah. Lane sent me a pair of socks that say DWA on them, so Lane's my spirit animal. I love him.
Oh, nice. That's all it takes?
Yeah, I'm easy. Come on, man.
All right, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, JP and I will absolutely love to. We are planning to come to Radwood and San Mateo at the old fairgrounds. That's the old horse racing track and all that stuff.
Totally.
That's a great area.
It is.
And then maybe we can post up and do a little broadcast.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if you guys are going to be around, we'll definitely do that. I don't know. We used to do live show at the show, but it's gotten so hard now with like being just pulled in all directions. So we'll do it.
We'll do it. Yeah. JP, we got to get some Bid Nerd swag in the next few weeks, so we have it to pass out. Right?
I will tell you guys, we ordered stickers, so stickers should be here at any moment. And then there's going to be more swag after that.
Good.
Yeah, that's right. Acid green goes with every colorway imaginable, so that's going to look fantastic.
Except Tornado Red.
Except Tornado Red. Oh man, it'll fix that beige interior by putting some green on there.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on Bid Nerds, your daily nerd out on the most interesting cars of the day and all the automotive enthusiast auction sites. Subscribe, hit the like button and notification button. Do it now. And also comment on these cars on their respective platforms so we find more nerds to join the troop. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Warren, you're the man. Thank you.
Warren, thank you.
Thank you.
Warren, thank you.
It's my absolute pleasure. My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Get those nerds!